Welcome all to the Dr. Beasley's Clean Room. I am the Director of Success, Chris Racana, here today with the illustrious Phil Miranda and his better half, Jess Miranda, who is right over there, pointing and laughing. So anyway, Phil was generous enough to come into town and spend a few days with us here at HQ and get this brand new, we just delivered last week, G63, fully protected. So thanks for coming out, Phil. I appreciate you guys making the drive out all the way from Virginia.
Yeah, and we drove, didn't fly this time, so 14 plus hours. But really the drive wasn't that bad. It's been such an awesome week, so I want to thank you guys for having us here too.
And you made a whole trip out of it. You know, like I know he's not just here to visit us. I mean, Phil's a popular guy. Phil and just got lots of friends. So why don't you tell us about what we were doing before you arrived here at HQ?
Yeah, so this past Sunday we drove and we went to Chicago Auto Pros for PPF training. We are one of their founding members for their optical PPF. So we did 2 days of training there, and we have never done any type of PPF installation before, so it's completely new to us. So we still have a ways to go to learn how to properly install it, but we have a plan in place. But we're using some of the best PPF that was developed by Optical and Chicago Auto Pros. So excited to start using their products. So that was 2 days. Wednesday was a floater day. We kind of had fun and toured around Chicago, even though it was kind of rainy, but had fun on Wednesday and came to visit you guys here and spent the past 2 days working on this G-Wagon.
Absolutely. So I drove in from Wisconsin late Wednesday night, and then we hooked up Thursday morning and came in and started the wash process and kind of, again, took this G-Wagon through everything from the prep through the coating and everything. But before we get into that, it was something that this is, kind of was born from the creator event that Car Supplies Warehouse put on earlier this year.
Yeah.
Like we had Rick from Rad Garage in, now you're coming to visit us. And, one of the things, the same question I asked Rick, I would like to ask you. I mean, obviously you were used to seeing your videos at your location, at your home, at your business where you have everything up. I mean, what challenges did you find coming out to Chicago and had to shoot remotely?
Yeah, so I mean, as far as the filming goes, that can be kind of a challenge because at home I have all my chargers, all my batteries and lenses in place, exactly where I need them and know where they are, and backups if needed. So, I have a couple of sets of batteries here and a few mics and, lav mics and wires and cords and everything. And you're just kind of hoping nothing goes wrong, which nothing did, which was good. Had plenty of charging ports and no batteries were completely drained, and I had nothing to record on. So that was all smooth, but it's a challenge to bring all of your equipment and worry about it too, because it's a lot of expensive equipment that you're lugging around. But at least in our own vehicle, it's relatively safe. You don't have to worry about checking it in on flights or anything. But also, working here in someone else's shop, it's kind of interesting because everybody has their SOP and their tools and everything set up, differently. And in our shop, we have our standard procedures and our tools exactly where we want them to be. So working here, well, where's this? Where's this chemical? Where's this? And where's this brush? So there's that kind of challenge too, working on somebody else's shop.
Was there any kind of feature of the shop that you thought ooh, that was interesting, or that you found kind of unique, or something that you might even want to implement in your own?
Yeah, I really like the way that you have those hoses coming from the ceiling so that we're able to just grab the rinse one, grab the soap one, and you have your foam cannon essentially all into one unit, you just, like a fire hose, you just release it, foams, and the same with the rinsing. So I really like that aspect of it. We don't wash indoors in our bay. I wish we could, but I really like that concept. It makes it easy to be able to wash the vehicle. So you can really tell when you walk in here and you see all the tools set up and the way that it's set up, that you drive in, wash, next step, drying, vacuuming, doing all of that stuff. It's just such a nice, smooth operation.
Cool, thank you very much. Yeah, I mean, Jim spent many a year fine-tuning and tweaking, so it definitely does not happen overnight.
Exactly.
As you well know, to set that up. So now getting down, we're messing around with matte vehicles. I mean, do you do much matte work previous to this, or?
No, not really. I think we've maybe done 1 or 2 matte vehicles in our career ever, and they were vinyl wraps. They weren't really even a matte paint like this. So this was new to us, going through these procedures.
Well, you were familiar with Dr. Beasley's products.
Definitely.
Okay.
Definitely.
All right. I mean, I know big fan of the NSPs here.
Yep.
And actually, Phil, as you guys will see in the video that you'll find over on Phil's channel, we actually did some of the NSPGL, not NSPs, because that would be bad on Matt. But we did prep that windshield back there with the NSPGL. So,
yeah.
I mean, what do you think? I mean, what was your experience with the GL? I mean, we're really excited about that product and to launch that product, which is actually launching today.
Yep, I saw the email.
As we're recording this. So,
yeah.
What was your thoughts on that product?
So when you had sent it to me like a week or two ago, I was using it on brand new vehicles, and some vehicles that actually had water spots did an excellent job of removing the water spots. And I wasn't even using the rayon pad at that point, because I'll only use the rayon pad for nasty water spots that I need to be aggressive with. But I was using it with just a microfiber disc, and that alone was cutting through it easily.
Wow.
So I was really impressed with that. Left the glass crystal clear. But just like the NSP polishes on the paint, if you over apply it, you get a little bit of that residue, but a damp towel takes care of that. Or if you're coating over it, just coat over it with your glass coating. And when you wipe your glass coating, it's crystal clear. So any of that smearing or hazing goes away completely. So it's just understanding the product and learning to work with it. But so far, that stuff has been incredible.
I know, and it's the one thing, I mean, again, you guys, when you go see Phil's video, so we prepped this windshield with GL, and then we did our Glass Serum Pro coating on it. And Phil, took that on, and I saw him wipe off Glass Serum Pro by hand.
Yeah.
And I mean, it just floored me. So I mean, it's something that we're gonna have to keep an eye on, stuff like that, because traditionally, the way you remove Glass Serum Pro is actually with a buffer. You get a DA, low speed on a fresh, clean, have polishing pad, like I like a Lake Country Blue, and you would take it off that way. So, but again, that's with a traditional prep. So to see that the GL potentially is making the experience of installing the coating that much easier, I mean, it's pretty exciting. So.
And I didn't know that. I didn't know that's how you removed the Glass Coating Pro, because I've never used the Pro version. I've just used the regular glass serum. And I just treated it as any other glass coating that I've ever used. And I didn't realize that you removed it with a polisher like that. And I just removed it by hand. I'm like checking with lights. I'm like, yeah, it's good. And you're over here, I thought, like shocked. You're like,
it was very confusing to me.
How?
I was like, how? Really? Seriously? I'm like, is he superhuman strength? Like, whoa, Miranda.
I mean, a little bit of pressure, but it all cleaned up fine. Like, no problem at all. So maybe that GL is the key to that. So,
yeah. But to dial back in, what we're really here for was the whole matte process, going through the prep and install of our 100% solids self-healing matte paint coating pro. So, I mean, let's talk about the prep process to start with. We started out in the prep bay, and we started with the wheels. Little matte wheel cleanser action. And then some Decon and some wash. So what do you think about that whole prep process for the matte coating?
Yeah, I mean, it's very similar to our process with the chemicals, just understanding what they are with the paint cleanser, the Decon that we're using, the matte shampoo that was used as well, and rinsing it all off. I mean, that's pretty standard even with our procedure, same kind of steps, just using those matte specific products. Very easy to use and very effective. So yeah, that whole washing and prepping was pretty easy on the matte finish.
And typically I tell detailers how it's like, oh, you're gonna love prepping matte cars because you don't even break a sweat because you don't have to make a polisher until you get to like 95 degrees and like 100% humidity like we were working in yesterday.
Yeah.
We're literally like, I'm trying not to drip sweat on the car as we're drying it off. But,
exactly.
But yeah, no, it's just about upping your chemical aggression. Never your mechanical, never your physical, but just your chemical aggression. If you need to get that stubborn contaminant out, we go from the matte body wash, the matte cleanser, and then if necessary, the matte paint cleanser pro. So we prepped it out in the wash bay, and then we brought it into the clean room here, and we got into the coating itself. So wet application, which is a little bit unique. We had the prep product first. How would you think that prep product went over?
Oh, that was actually pretty easy. And I know even before that, we're using the paint cleanser and checking out any little stains that might be on the paint and going around and hitting those. And then using the paint, the prep was very, very easy. Just wipe on, wipe off.
Cool.
Super easy. So, I mean, that's essentially like your polishing, priming step, going around the vehicle and ensuring that everything is clean and prepped and ready to go for the coating.
Yep, and then we're also laying down those anchor points.
I forgot about that, the anchor
we're
points,
laying,
yeah.
we're prepping, but we're also laying down those anchor
So it's
points.
prepping and priming it
Yep.
in one.
And then the coating, always a
Yeah.
little bit unique when you're dealing with 100% solids. Got that viscosity like molasses.
Yeah.
In combination with going on wet too.
Yep.
So how was that experience for you?
A little weird at first, because we're not used to that. We're used to, of course, using the microfiber applicators and your traditional ceramic coatings. So it's definitely a weird feel at first because you feel that tacky thickness, and even the coating coming out is very, very thick. But once you get used to that, you get used to how much you really need on there. You don't need to overdo it. And then just spritzing the panel and making sure to get nice, even coverage. And I mean, watching you do the hood, you pretty much did the whole hood and then went back and started wiping it off. And once that water evaporates and everything kind of evaporates and flashes away, then it's just perfect. Like everything wipes and dries very, very easily. Using a ton of towels, that's an important thing that, that we learned with this coating because it's so thick and builds up in the towels as well. So switching out towels often. But actually it's relatively easy. Once you understand the concept, you just get used to the feel of it. And that's it. Then we flew through the rest of it.
Yeah, because it's just kind of like, it's something that I heard Rick from Red Garage say, it's frequency over force. It's just working it and working it and working it, not trying to, get your muscle into it. You're not doing yourself any favors trying to force it off.
Yeah, exactly. And it's kind of like that ceramic coating in that idea as well, because when you're initially removing or leveling the ceramic coating, you're going to end up with a little bit of smearing and just gently working it over, and then a second towel and gently go, and eventually all of that just kind of flashes away and you end up with a nice, crisp, clear surface. But of course, you don't want to be scrubbing out. There's no need to do that. Just changing out towels frequently, wiping it down, and it looks perfect. Both gloss or working with a matte finish, same thing.
So we got through yesterday, coated the vehicle. That was pretty. I mean, you were doubting whether we were going to get through that in one
I was.
day.
I'm like, how are we going to do this all? Are we actually going to do it all ourselves in one day? But yeah, it actually went pretty quick. And we were, of course, filming and in between, talking and all that. If we were just getting right down to work, I mean, a few hours and it would have been done.
Yeah, for sure. We closed up, we went back, and then we of course, we went and enjoyed a nice meal. I mean, I gave Phil and Jess, several restaurants to choose from, and I was so excited when they said they wanted to go to La Scarola, which is actually the old neighborhood I lived in for 15 years. That's cool. So I mean, just a super old school Italian-American Chicago restaurant. And so what'd you guys think?
Oh my gosh, we love places like that. It's so awesome. The service, like it feels old and classy. I just love that. And the food was incredible. The pasta, the seafood, yeah, it was amazing. We love it.
Oh,
the food here, anyway, like every night, we've been just gorging ourselves. Awesome.
It's the best city in the world to eat.
It really is.
I really believe that.
It really is.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So
we love it.
We fueled ourselves up. We got back to the hotel early. We got a good night's sleep. We got back to the shop this morning.
Yep.
And we were ready to dive into a maintenance with this vehicle. So why don't you kind of run us through what you think of the maintenance wash and the maintenance with the AdvanceCoat matte? How was your experience with all that?
Maintaining ceramic coated vehicles anyway is like a blast. We love it when our customers come back because it's so easy. It's so simple and easy, and especially if the customer is at least taking care of it in between. Usually our maintenance programs every 3 to 6 months. But it's so fast and easy. So, I mean, same with this. When we washed it, rinsed it, hydrophobics were awesome. The mitt glides right over it with the matte shampoo. So slick, everything rinsed off nicely. And then we just blow dried it and used that AdvanceCoat matte. Simple, easy, mist it on, dry it with a microfiber towel, and pretty much good to go from there. There's other things if we wanted to add on there, like the Paint Hero or the Bead Hero, but same thing, wipe on, wipe off, and the finish is nice and smooth and clean again.
So I know, I mean, you're new to the matte system, but like,
Yeah.
how would you envision that working that into your system? Like, after all, because we got, the Paint Hero, that's our drying lubricant, so that's,
Right.
to address that. That's kind of a very niche product. But like,
Yep.
how would you handle when you're using Bead Hero? And this is something I get asked a lot. So I'm just curious where you now, having used the products, you understand the products as a professional detailer. How would you work both AdvanceCoat matte and matte Bead Hero into your program?
Well, to simplify it for me, I'd probably only pick one.
Okay.
Just to be
fair enough.
honest.
Yeah.
Because I probably wouldn't need to use both in conjunction because less steps would be better for us. Only if it was staying overnight or if I had a large enough shop where like I have rows of cars and I know that I put AdvanceCoat on one, it's been a few hours and I can say, okay, we can go over it with Bead Hero or something like that. But for us, I do want just a one solution. And I'd probably pick one of them, probably AdvanceCoat, because I know that it's designed for this as well as the maintenance product. So I would just use that as kind of the lubrication and protectant all in one and drying aid and wipe the whole thing down and pretty much call it a day. Because my customers come back at the end of the day to pick up their vehicles.
Yes. So you need to
and I'm only working on like one, maybe two vehicles a day, and one of them can only fit in the garage and the other has to stay out. So for me personally, like I need the efficiency.
Yeah.
So like one product, one of those.
Plus the
would
Bead
be
Hero
perfect.
would be a great thing just to sell your customer. They're going to do their maintenance
I
at
didn't
home.
think about
It's
that.
so easy. Like you handle the quarterly maintenance service with AdvanceCoat, and then here's your matte Bead Hero. So after you want to go home, you do your at-home wash.
That's a
Here's little
great
Bead Hero.
solution. I didn't think about that because I don't really sell products to customers, but maybe I should start doing that and have little kits for them. And here's your matte shampoo and here's your Bead Hero. Use that to maintain it before we do it.
Oh, and we actually have a kit for that. For our authorized detailer network, well, it's available on the site. Anyone can buy it. But we have both our gloss coating maintenance kit and our matte coating maintenance kit, which comes with the buckets, the wash mitts, the AdvanceCoat, and the appropriate matte or gloss wash. But yeah, always nice to because not every customer wants to bring their car back in for every wash. Sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes they just want to be involved in the process. So best
So
to get
most
them
of my customers are like that. They'll come in 3 to 6 months, but in between that, they gotta wash it themselves, and they just want something simple and easy. They don't want to go through the whole process that we do. So, and that's to be expected. So something like that would be perfect. Give them what shampoo, what topper to use, and mitts and towels, and they're happy. They're like, oh good, that's what I wanted to know.
Then of course we finished off with some little finishing steps. We went and went over the wheels with matte wheel seal.
That was an interesting product.
What do you think about that? It is unique.
Yeah, I mean, I usually don't use products like that. We just spray it on and let it dwell and then come back and wipe it. Usually it's just all in one shot. We'll do everything there. Spray it on, wipe it off right away. But I kind of like that you get some dwell time, you get some work time with it as well.
So I'm curious because I'm sending Phil home with pretty much everything that we opened to use on this thing. I'm sending Phil and Jess home with. So Phil has not used the wheel seal or matte wheel seal product that I love so much personally. And I'm excited for you to report back to me, and I'm starting to hear because the beautiful thing about that matte wheel seal product is that it traps the contaminants and then it releases on your next maintenance wash. So it just makes that regular maintenance easier, and especially if you're, something like a 7,000-pound G-Wagon, that also has 700 horsepower, you got big old Brembos, you gotta stop this thing, right? So that's gonna produce a ton of brake dust. The way I drive my 350R produces a lot of brake dust. This is where those wheel seal products, both matte and standard, pay dividends to make those maintenance washes much, much easier.
Yeah, and it's so easy to apply to the next maintenance wash. I mean, that's so easy to do that it's a no-brainer. So every time the customer would come in, I'm going to reapply it easily.
And then the matte tire conditioner. So I learned you up all good on that one. So what do you? I mean, why do we? I'm going to ask you. I'm going to quiz you now, Phil. Why do we have a matte tire conditioner in the Dr. Beasley's lineup?
Tire sling, lack of tire sling, because that's going to be one of the number one things that's just going to mess up the side of your vehicle.
Oh yeah.
And especially with the matte vehicle, any other substance that's going to go on there is going to add little bits of shininess, and you're going to see it. It's going to stand right out.
Oh yeah.
So with this stuff, it's just a natural OEM look, and a lot of our customers actually like that too. I'll use our regular tire dressings, water-based dressings, but knock it down so it looks nice and clean. And when they drive off, there's no tire sling.
Yeah.
So this stuff, nice, thick, viscous, like a tire cream, basically.
But the beautiful thing, no silicone.
Yeah,
so
there's
that
no
way,
silicones in it.
If you do get tire sling on your matte wrap or your matte paint or matte PPF.
Yeah.
Again, silicone and matte don't mix, folks. So that's why it's important to use the matte tire conditioner because it's formulated without that silicone. So if you do get that tire sling, you just didn't make your life or Phil's life miserable for having to fix that again.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, give it enough time. If you're detailing vehicles like this, you put that tire dressing on and give it like an hour or two. It's going to dry. You don't have to worry about tire sling anyway.
So then we moved into the interior. And I know you are very familiar with our leather line. You know our leather products very well.
Yeah.
You know, we went through our fine leather cleanser, of course, just to go all over the leather areas. And I know you and Jess, big fans of our Leather Lock, which is our water-based, you know, protection product for leather with, up to 1 year service life.
Yep.
This was your first go around with our Pro, our Leather Lock Pro with our 5-year service life solvent-based product. What'd you think about that one?
So definitely a little bit different of an application, using the little like eyedropper and that little applicator. So it takes a little bit longer than just the other stuff because you just spray it onto a microfiber applicator and it just spreads so easy. But this stuff got a little bit more thickness to it, absorbs, into the leather a little bit more. But it's just kind of apply it and then leave it, which is nice, and it all just kind of fades away, just like the regular leather lock. Jess loves that because you just apply it and forget it. And we come back and it's just all natural, it's all done. We love that. So those types of products are great, and with that stuff, you're going to be getting the durability of it, but like you said, it's hydrophobic, so spills and all that stuff, easy cleanup.
Now, as a professional detailer, though, I mean, do you find that? Because I just feel like a lot of detailers leave money on the table because, if you already have a customer paying for coatings on the exterior, why not at least offer the interior coatings?
Yep, at least offer it. So when people call in and they want our new car prep, which is just an exterior only, I do include just a...
Oh, sorry, my bad. Hi, honey.
Leave that in. Yeah, leave that in. Like, what? Crap, now I forgot what I was saying.
Right?
I had it in my head and now I forgot it.
We were leaving money on the table.
Yeah, I know.
Money on the table.
Okay. So usually with our new car preps, it's an exterior only service with all of the exterior surfaces being ceramic coated. The interior, I always say I'll do a basic interior because I can't just let it go. So door jambs and at least a vacuum wipe down all the glass.
Like a true detailer. I can't let it go, right?
Yeah, and I've been offering that just to kind of sweeten the deal because they'll ask anything in the interior, and I'm like, at this point, the price point is perfectly set where I spend maybe 30 minutes on the interior. But then I'll say, or if you want to upgrade to our interior protection service, it's an extra, this amount of dollars, either $200 to $300. You can add that in if you want, and then you get your ceramic leather and plastic and carpet protection. And then it's just on the table for them to grab it or not. And actually, most of them, once I offer that, if they're already spending $1,200 to $1,500, they're like, what's an extra $200 to $300 for the full? And they'll bite and they'll do it. So.
And that's the thing. Over and over again, your customer, there's no easier sale to make than the customer that's already there spending money. So again, it's just say, hey, by the way, we got this too.
Just offer it. Why not? And see if they grab it. And sometimes they'll say no on the phone, and then later when they bring it in, they're like, now I do want that because they've thought about it. They mulled it over. You can always say that. Like, just think about it. We can always add that on when you get here anyway.
Most people realize there's an opportunity cost there. So if they were to come back just for that interior service, they're never going to get that same value.
Yeah, exactly. They're driving it twice and dropping it off twice. Exactly.
So we got through the prep, we got through the coating, we got through the coating maintenance and all the finishing touches.
Yep.
When we kind of went over, we did final inspection on this week-old vehicle. What were your thoughts?
I think everything looks incredible. It's nice to be able to go over the vehicle and make sure everything's looking good, everything dries easily, and I'm just loving the finish of it. So with matte finishes, as long as everything looks uniform, it feels good, you're good to go. It's a nice thing about matte finishes. You're not looking for swirls and scratches. You're just looking for consistency and making sure everything is even, and it just looks amazing.
I kind of always laugh though when I'm training, detailers on the mat and everything. I always kind of give them a heads up, like it is one of the most anticlimactic deliveries to a customer, because it's usually like, look at your glossy car, like look how much more shiny it is, and it's just like, it's clean.
Yeah, if you shine a light on it,
like,
you get nothing. You don't. It's just blackness. That's it.
Thrilled to have you in, Phil. I'm thrilled that you had a good time with this experience and that you're pleased with the results. So, would this be a service you would offer at Miranda Detailing?
Definitely. Yep, it's going on the service list.
Oh,
as soon as I can get my web guys to put it on there and SEO it for matte finishes, we're doing it.
Beautiful. And I suppose you'd probably want to offer it with a Dr. Beasley's backed warranty as well.
Oh,
right?
definitely.
Well,
with all the Dr. Beasley's goodies.
In that case, Ethan, if you will.
Oh, what is this?
So.
Ooh.
Welcome, Dr. Beasley's newest authorized detailer.
Sweet.
Miranda Detailing.
I know where I can put this. I'm going to take down my McGuire's one. I'm not accredited with anything with McGuire's. That's coming down.
You guys did quite a bit of driving on the way out. Probably quite a bit of driving on the way back. And I'm sure maybe perhaps your trip home would be slightly more expeditious if those people who are driving in the left lane and that are not passing anyone, if those people would kindly just kind of slide over to the right. That would be polite driving. Do you agree with this?
Yes, it was.
It would. Is it left lane for passing, Phil?
That's right.
And I believe it's middle lane for cruising.
Exactly.
And it is the right lane for entering and exiting.
Learn how to drive.
Yes. So please, no camping out in the left lane. Phil and Jess would like to get back to the East Coast.
We got 14 hours.
Sometime this week.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for everyone for tuning in to the Dr. Beasley's YouTube channel. Please get over to the Miranda Detailing YouTube channel. Give them a smash and a tickle. First give the D. Beasleys a smash and a tickle, but then get over there, watch the other half of this project. So Phil will have that posted on his channel. We're hoping to launch these things on the same day so we can, be like, good old-fashioned teamwork. So we're gonna get after it, get these videos posted. And guys, any questions, comment down below. We love to have that interaction. Otherwise, we will see you on the next Dr. Beasley's YouTube movie,
see you guys.
Film. That was a horrible ending. Let's try that one more time.
I love that one. You should do that. You gotta just bleep out the end. That was hilarious.
Thanks for tuning in, everyone.
Okay,
Please
bye.
drive safely. Have a good day.
All right, perfect. That's the best to have the ending just all flubbed.